All right, let's talk about something that's absolutely crucial to men's health, but, it's often misunderstood. We're going to dive into the powerful connection between the food on your plate and erectile function, and we're getting right into the science of it.
This quote from the American Journal of Medicine, it really gets to the heart of it. Because this isn't just about your sex life. This is about your survival. The science is crystal clear now. Erectile dysfunction is often the very first, the earliest, warning sign of underlying heart disease. And just how common is it? Well, it's incredibly common. A huge study, the Massachusetts Male Aging Study, found that a staggering 52% of men between 40 and 70 reported some form of erectile dysfunction. So this isn't some rare issue. It's a major men's health concern that affects more than half of men in that age group. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with that canary in the coal mine idea, then we'll get into the actual biology of how an erection works. After that, we'll look at the specific foods that can either boost or hurt the system, and finally, we'll tie it all together with your overall lifestyle. First up, the canary in the coal mine. Seriously, getting this concept is so important because it gives you this vital window of opportunity to actually do something about your health long term. Just look at this timeline. ED doesn't just pop up at the same time as heart problems, it shows up years before. So why is that? Well, it really just comes down to basic plumbing. The arteries in the penis are tiny, only 1 to 2 millimeters wide. The ones in your heart are bigger, about 3 to 4 millimeters. So when plaque starts to build up in your system, where do you think it's going to cause a blockage first? Yep, in those smaller pipes. You can think of it as a 3 to 5 year head start to fix the root problem.
Okay, so now we know why blood flow is the name of the game. So let's take a quick look at how it all works. Because when you understand the basic science here, all the diet advice we're about to get into makes so much more sense.
Let me introduce you to the MVP, the single most important molecule for an erection, nitric oxide. This is the master switch. When your brain sends that arousal signal, this little molecule gets released, and it tells the blood vessels to just relax and open up wide. If you don't have enough nitric oxide, that critical blood flow just can't happen. It's that simple.
So here's the entire chain reaction step by step. It all kicks off with a signal from the brain. That signal triggers the release of our key molecule, nitric oxide. The arteries then open up, blood rushes in to fill the erectile tissues, and, this part is just as important, the veins get squeezed shut to trap that blood inside. It's a pretty amazing and elegant hydraulic system when you think about it.
Okay, so if nitric oxide is the key to the whole operation, the obvious next question is, how can we get more of it? Or at least, how can we support our body's ability to make it? This is where what you eat becomes an incredibly powerful tool for your health. Now this slide has a ton of great info, so let's walk through it. Think of it like you're building a team. First, you've got the direct fuel. Dietary nitrates from things like spinach and beetroot convert directly into nitric oxide. Then you've got the building blocks. Amino acids like L-citrulline, which you find in watermelon. Next up are the supporters. Flavonoids from berries keep your blood vessels healthy and flexible. And then you have the bodyguards, antioxidants, like lycopene from tomatoes. Protect the nitric oxide you have from getting damaged. And finally, you have zinc, which is vital for testosterone production, which drives your libido in the first place.
And listen, this isn't just theory. The data really backs this up. One huge study followed men for 10 years and found that the guys who ate the most fruit, which is packed with those helpful flavonoids, had a 14% lower risk of developing erectile dysfunction. That shows how even small, consistent dietary habits can have a really big impact over time. And if you want to see the power of just one of these nutrients, check this out. In a study on men with mild ED, they gave one group a placebo and another group L-citrulline. That's the stuff from watermelon. In the placebo group, only about 8% of guys saw their function return to normal. But in the L-citrulline group, a full 50% of the men improved to normal erectile function. That is a massive, massive difference.
All right, so we've talked about the good stuff. Now we have to flip the coin. What are the foods that are actively working against you? The ones that sabotage this whole sensitive vascular system.
It's really a tale of two diets here, isn't it? The contrast is just so stark. On one side, you have the Mediterranean diet. It's basically a perfect blueprint for eating all the foods we just talked about, and it's proven to make your blood vessels healthier. On the other side, you have the worst offenders. Fried foods, tons of added sugar, processed meats. These foods do the exact opposite. They cause inflammation, they damage your arteries, and they lead to that plaque buildup that clogs those tiny arteries first.
And we really have to talk about alcohol for a second. Look, a drink here and there is probably fine, but drinking too much is like a triple threat to your erections. First, it messes with your hormones by tanking testosterone and raising estrogen. And second, the toxins in alcohol can directly damage the delicate lining of your blood vessels, making it harder for them to produce that all-important nitric oxide.
So here's the big takeaway. Diet is a massive piece of the puzzle, an absolute cornerstone. But it works best when it's part of a complete lifestyle approach to your vascular health. It's not the only thing that matters. You really need to think about these three pillars working together with a healthy diet. Regular exercise actually boosts your nitric oxide production. Quitting smoking? Well, that's a non-negotiable. It is one of the single most destructive things you can do to your arteries. And finally, managing your weight is critical. So many studies have shown that just losing weight can dramatically improve erectile function.
And this brings us right back to where we started. Instead of seeing erectile dysfunction as some kind of failure or something to be embarrassed about, the medical world now sees it as an opportunity. It is your body's early warning system. It's giving you a chance to make changes that won't just improve your sex life, but could protect your heart and literally save your life down the road.
So at the end of the day, the message from all this science is one of empowerment. It's that what you put on your plate isn't just calories, it's information. It's a set of instructions you're giving to your body. So the only real question left is, are you using that power to protect your future?